Hello and welcome to a new edition of This Generation. I'm Tom Stagg, and today we're taking you to Fairbanks, Alaska for the World Eskimo and Indian Olympics. You are going to be amazed at the athletic ability of these participants. We'll see world records broken, including in the Alaskan high kick. Jeannie Green has the story. And you know I can kick too.
We're in the midst of our 43rd annual World Eskimo Indian Olympic celebration. So far, it's going quite well. We have about 5 Inuk dance groups. We have 1 from the interior, and we would have had more from the interior. However, because of the wildfire scenario, a lot of villages are staying home to protect their villages. And we have a lot of athletes. We've broken 1 world record in the 1-arm reach, and we've tied 1 record in the Alaskan high kick, and we're looking to maybe threaten to break another record for the 2-foot high kick.
As far back as anyone can remember, Native people have gathered in villages for celebrations where they would share songs and dances, perform storytelling, and engage in friendly competition in athletic games. During the gathering, people from different tribes would share news and renew friendships. But it wasn't until the 1960s that these friendly gatherings became the Olympics.
The history of the Olympics started in 1961. In the mid to late 50s, a couple pilots got stranded in Point Hope. Bud Hagberg and Frank Whaley, both Wien pilots at the time. They landed successfully, but in order to fix their plane, they had to ship out for a part, which meant that they had to stay in the community of Point Hope for a whole winter. And in the process of staying there, they witnessed the Olympic Games as they are played here today, the 1-foot high kick, the 2-foot high kick, the blanket toss during the Christmas holiday season. And interestingly enough, it's also played in Barrow and Wainwright in the same manner, and that these games go on 24 hours a day. What they liked about it was the fact that some of these games are so unique and test every aspect of the body that they thought it would be a great idea to show them to the rest of the world where they were located in the hopes that they would be perpetuated, because with the encroachment of Western society, they felt or feared that these games would be lost. And when the first games were held in '61, they just kept on going. And they were first called the World Eskimo Olympics. However, with the large contingent of Athabascans living in the interior and in Fairbanks, the Athabascans said, now wait a second, we play these games too, so we would appreciate it if you included us in your name. And then back in 1969, or in the early 70s, the name was changed to the World Eskimo Indian Olympics. And then in '76, it was incorporated into a nonprofit.
With WEIO, these people, it's like family here. It's like, these are my friends, and they're like my family. I see them here every year, and I think they're more supportive here. WLIO is supportive too, but WEIO is even more so. People don't, get offended or anything if you try to tell them, give them tips and tell them, you're doing this wrong or you're doing that wrong. They don't get mad or offended or anything.
The idea of cooperation is not new to Natives. It should come as no surprise that these athletes cheer each other on and even give advice to their competition, because the original reason for these games was to choose the best members for hunting parties. A strong team means a good chance for a successful hunt, and that means food for the table. So even though the WEIO games are not held to produce a hunting party, that sense of community purpose is preserved, and all the participants appreciate the skills of their competitors.
Yeah, in a half an hour I have a race to run. The Race of the Torch is a 3-mile race. And then later there's other events going on, and there's 22 events throughout WEIO, and then I'll do probably about 15 events.
So you're going to be pretty active then?
Yeah, I'll be probably really sore in a couple days.
The Race of the Torch is a 5K foot race held at the beginning of the WEIO Games. All participants in the games are invited to compete in this contest of endurance. The ability to travel quickly over long distances by foot is evidence of strong, healthy conditioning. The winners from the men's and women's divisions are allowed to carry the flame to light the official torch of the WEIO. This year's winners were Andrew Marks and Elizabeth Rexford.
And normally we would have the seal oil lamp lit right now, but the seal oil hasn't arrived.
After the ceremonial start of the WEIO Games, it's time to celebrate the diversity of singing, dancing, and the beautiful clothing brought by each of the participants. Even the babies get into the spirit of this cultural celebration. There is nothing like the traditional music of Alaska's native people.
When you have dance groups with 6 to 10 drummers, and then you get some real young youth out there, you start hearing the cheering going on because, you know, it's true what they say about our heritage. You can't keep anything you don't practice. And as long as the youth continue to sing the songs of their nation, our culture will never die. I heard a wise elder say that when the children stop singing the songs of their nation, that's when a culture really dies. And when you see young kids dancing and singing their songs here, it gives everyone else hope.
Here at the WEIO Games, you'll find an opportunity to see works of art from around the state and visit with people who you may not see for another whole year.
And then,
Man, I want to see them. I
Yeah.
haven't even thought about seeing them. I just love the CD.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good, you know, in life.
My daughter's 30 now. She finally gonna have a baby.
Hi, little boy, cowboy. Hi, little cowboy. Smell your feet. Right?
Is
A
it-
nice place to congregate. But I tell you, the weather is something we always have a difficult time coping with. But it's a nice avenue. It's just another avenue for us to market our product.
We like to do bright stuff. We're pretty bright types of people, and so we try and use, well, bright colors here. We've got a yellow, an orange, a red shirt. Our native rock star shirt is pretty colorful. Our Dungsuits, that shirt is, it's more blue, but it's still pretty bright.
We are featuring the finest art pieces from St. Lawrence, Alaska, the ivory capital of the world. We are marketing products made by the residents of Savunga and Gamble, Alaska.
By the weekend, these halls fill up with visitors, so plan to come early and beat the rush. You can even get your picture taken with the reigning Miss WEIO, and you won't want to miss this year's contestants as they perform in the talent competition. Each of these ladies has a good shot at the title of Miss WEIO 2004, but it will be up to the judges to decide the winner, based on several categories, including knowledge of their culture, confidence, poise, overall presentation, personality, knowledge of WEIO, and current Native issues.
Pageant. This has been a great experience, and I just feel that every young girl should look up to these ladies and want to be Miss WEIO someday, Miss Indian World. It's an accomplishment, you get a lot of pride, and especially I've gotten a lot of help from the active basket community. Okay, everybody got your cameras ready. Miss WEIO 2004 is contestant number 5.
Congratulations to Courtney Moore, Miss WEIO 2004. Now let's get to the other stuff, because there is more than one star at the WEIO Games.
Well, I just broke the world record that I've been trying to break for the past 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, or however many years it's been. And it's really exciting for me because, you know, I'm able to kick the height that I kicked in there, you know, every day at home practicing, and every time I make it to a competition, I, you know, just barely miss. So I'm really glad it happened for me today.
Jesse broke not one, but 4 records at the Games. He set new records in the Alaskan high kick, the 1-foot high kick, the one-hand reach, and the kneel jump. His accomplishments earned him the Howard Rock Outstanding Athlete Award for this year's Games.
I feel tired, exhausted, happy, proud, but good, very good.
How high was your final one that you kicked?
72 inches, same thing as I did at state. I haven't been practicing. I've been commercial fishing with my grandpa in Lucknow, John Hanson, and I didn't practice, so I wasn't expecting nothing except to do this for fun and because it's my sport. Hi, Daddy. Hi everybody at home, at Lucknow, Cooper Bay, YK Delta, Kuskokwim, Bethel people, everybody out there, don't give up, there's always hope.
Dear Richard, this is really hard to write. Dear Richard, people are starting to talk about you. I'm sorry, but I have to say something. just listen.
It takes a lot of guts to talk to your friends about their problems with marijuana or drinking, but it could make all the difference.
Live the outdoor dream with the new amphibious, all-season, all-terrain Argo 8x8 Avenger for up to 6 passengers. The new all-wheel drive Argo 8x8 Avenger features 25% more power, new steering system, 25% more ground clearance, more legroom, extra padded seating, more capacity, and a lot more. Explore the possibilities and arrange for a free test drive at your local Argo dealer.
One thing that all the competitors in the WEIO games must possess is mental toughness. Many of the games are designed as tests of endurance, where instead of measuring how quickly a person can perform something, they are judged on how long they can sustain it. The 4-man carry is an example of such an event. These competitors attempt to carry an incredible amount of weight for the longest possible distance. A test that requires strength and balance, but above all, willpower.
Well, almost all of the games have some specific a reason for or purpose for doing. You got the ear pull, where 2 opponents sit across from each other and attempt to pull. They have a tug of war with their ears, basically. This is to test an athlete's or a person's endurance to pain and the gift of cartilage that they have on their ear. And who has the toughest ears? You know, granted, when you're out hunting back before the Western civilization came, you couldn't go back to the village just because your ears were cold. You know, when you're out there grocery shopping and with Mother Nature, you know, you got to keep going and endure some harsh things, and you know, face the reality of starvation if you don't succeed in getting your catch. You've got the 1-foot high kick, just to see how high you can kick, jumping off both feet, kicking the ball with 1 foot, and then landing on the foot you kick with. That record has just been shattered, by the way. It's 9 feet 8 inches now. It used to be 9'6". One of these days we'll probably see that at 10 feet. When we went to the Olympics in 1984 in Los Angeles, we were trying to appeal to the World Olympic Committee to consider either the 1-foot high kick or the 2-foot high kick as a world-renowned competitive event. We'll probably revisit that if not this year, maybe within the next 4 years.
Now, let's take a closer look at some of the events.
The one-hand reach, well, you know, when I started out, I was only getting probably not even 2 feet high, and that was 5 years ago. And then the first 2 years, I got maybe like a foot higher, and then the next year maybe a foot higher. And it's just, you know, in this event, unlike the other ones, the only way to train for this actually is to do the event. And, you know, other events you could do like a jump workout, or you'd run a lot, or do a different workout, just like for other sports. But in this one, it requires a lot of balance and concentration. And the athlete has to balance their body on one hand, and they have to reach up to touch the ball and come back down all without falling over. And they have to maintain balance before and after the event, and they have to keep their feet and their legs off the ground.
The crowd pleasers you'll see here at the Olympics are the 1-foot and 2-foot high kick, and maybe the mukluk eating contest, the dance groups, and of course a crowd favorite is the blanket toss. The blanket toss is actually, rumor would have it that it was a means of tossing somebody high enough into the air to see at long distances as a means of spotting mammals out on open leads of ice. And I talked to my elder from King Island indicated that, well, we like to keep the people in the lower 48 guessing. So it's really a women's game. They were the lightest ones. We tossed them into the air and we put candy on the blanket and all sorts of treats, and they'd be flying out. But don't let the lower 48ers know that.
You
Some people think that the blanket toss looks dangerous, and they're right. If they were to pull as hard as they could, the jumper would reach well beyond the ceiling of the gymnasium. Luckily, these people really know what they're doing. Still, in the blanket toss, accidents can happen, as Alissa Joseph of Bethel found out when she hurt her foot during warm-ups. She's no beginner to the games either, as she proved earlier when she nearly broke the world record in the 1-foot high kick. This just goes to show that everyone needs to stay focused on the task at hand when participating in these games.
The physics of the blanket toss are quite unique in the sense that when you have a group of pullers really synchronized in effort, they can toss a person as high as 35 feet. The ceiling here at the Big Dipper is 25 feet. We had it measured, and it hasn't been really uncommon to see someone being tossed palm with both hands to the ceiling, one of these tiles up here. We've had on one occasion someone tipped the tile and threatened it almost to come down, crashing on everybody, and it was like, oh, no. But, no, the physics of the blanket toss has a lot of wisdom and a lot of metaphor built into it, because not only does it stand for cooperation, unity, and trust, it has this symbolism of how Alaska Natives and American Indians, if you will, lived off the land, harness the resources, work together to achieve living in harmony. And for the most part, we're just having a sheer excitement and joy out of tossing someone into the air. I mean, you think about it, it's real simple, but it's real complicated underneath it all. You gotta have commitment to pull, you gotta work and cooperate with others, and you gotta trust that somebody will catch you when you're up there.
Well, I'm here with my youth group for Doug Yates' ministry, Youth Warriors, and we're just a servant team doing whatever needs to be done around WEIO. Well, I've never been on the blanket toss in my life, even though I grew up in Barrow, and my youth pastor just kind of urged me to do it, so I tried with my friend Karis, and it was really fun. What do you think you did? I don't know. It felt like I went pretty high, but that probably was just me being scared. But I don't know. I had fun though. I'd like to say hi to my Aka and Barrow and my aunts and my uncles and my cousin Desiree and my friend Payuk and everyone in Bar Island. Hi.
If your friend was in trouble, you'd help them, wouldn't you?
Vietnam veteran, roughneck, small businessman, family man, governor, independent, effective leader. Tony Knowles. In Washington, he'll work to create jobs, reach across party lines to promote oil and gas development, make prescription drugs and healthcare more affordable, even standing up to his own party to protect Alaska jobs. Putting Alaska first. Tony Knowles.
I'm Tony Knowles, and I approve this message to Alaskans.
Welcome back to This Generation. We are in the middle of the World Eskimo and Indian Olympics in Fairbanks, Alaska. And we're heading back to show you that not all of these games are about athletic ability. Some of them are about eating ability.
Not all of the contestants at the games are athletic. Some involve traditional techniques and skills that can only be developed through a lifetime of subsistence. First, there is a salmon cleaning competition where contestants use an ulu to prepare salmon fillets in the shortest possible time. Of course, at the end of the salmon cleaning contest, there's only one winner, but plenty of consolation prizes to fill everyone's freezer. Another featured subsistence skill is the seal skinning competition, where practice and experience truly come into play. You will be amazed at the talented work of these competitors. Finally, we have the mukluk eating contest. This one goes fast, so you have to watch closely. Contestants use an ulu to slice the mukluk into bite-sized pieces and eat them as fast as possible. This year's winner was finished in under 21 seconds, but after he won, the participants took their time and enjoyed the fruits of their labor.
I want another piece, man. That's good.
The 43rd Annual WEIO, World Eskimo and Indian Olympics, was a huge success, and it couldn't have happened without the help of all the volunteers and the hard workers on the staff. Our unique cultural heritage will always be our most valuable asset. And events like WEIO that encourage tribal relations and showcase our culture will keep our heritage fresh and keep challenging us to improve ourselves.
Thank you all for watching This Generation. I'm Tom Stagg, and I hope to see you all next summer in Fairbanks, Alaska at the 2005 World Eskimo and Indian Olympics. And I hope to see you next week for another edition of This Generation. Bye-bye.